The Yavak Empire had fallen, but the galaxy was not calm. Fear had spread across the stars, not because of what humans said, but because of what they didn't say. They didn't celebrate their victory. They didn't speak to the Galactic Council. They simply disappeared like smoke in the wind. But something was changing on Veltar. Their security satellites went offline without explanation. Entire convoys vanished between star systems. Their leaders received no warnings, no messages, only silence. The Veltar governor, a tall insectoid creature named Churka, stood in her glass tower, shaking. "Bring in the science team," she ordered. "I want answers." An old advisor spoke slowly. "It's them, the humans." Churka slammed her fist on the table. "They were angry at Evok, not us." The advisor looked up. "You funded the Evok war machine. You sold them weapons. You cheered when New Terra was destroyed." Silence filled the room. Outside, the sky turned red. Dozens of orbiting satellites had activated on their own. They didn't attack. They didn't broadcast any sound. They just displayed one word over the planet's sky. "Bipless." People screamed. Pilots panicked. The trade network collapsed in hours. Ships tried to flee, but found their routes blocked by nothing. Invisible jamming. Hidden traps. Silent threats. VE. Eltar wasn't being attacked. It was being isolated one by one. Their systems shut down power grids, defense cannons, comm stations. Not destroyed, just disabled. Permanently. In a matter of days, Veltar had fallen back to pre-space technology. Their planet went dark. No one died. No bombs were dropped. But their empire ended, and in its place stood only a memory. Do not forget the warning. Far away, on a neutral world called Nirax, the Galactic Council met in panic. Hundreds of alien species gathered in fear and confusion. Tall beings with skin like stone, small ones with glowing eyes, creatures that floated instead of walked. All had one question. What do the humans want? A blue-skinned ambassador named Threll stood up. "We need to speak with them. Open peace talks." "They won't come," another alien growled. "We tried that after the Evok War." No reply. The voice spoke from the shadows. "They hear us always." Everyone turned. A human stood at the back of the room. No armor, no weapons, just a black coat and a silver badge. The council guards raised their weapons. "How did you get in here?" The human didn't blink. "I was always here." Whispers filled the room. Someone shouted, "Why are you here now? What do you want?" The human's eyes moved slowly across the hall. "You ignored the warning. Then you watched others fall. Now you want to talk." Threll stepped forward. "We didn't attack Earth. We didn't help Evok." The human nodded. "But you said nothing. You did nothing." A council member screamed, "What are you, judges of the galaxy now?" The human replied softly, "No, we are reminders." Suddenly, every screen in the hall lit up. Planet names appeared. Hundreds of them. Worlds, the council thought, were safe. Worlds hidden behind treaties and shields. But now, each name turned red. One by one, the human walked toward the exit. "We remember more than you think. We forget nothing." Then he vanished. The council exploded in chaos. Messages were sent across the galaxy. Defense fleets were launched. Old warships were pulled from storage, but deep down, every leader knew it wouldn't help, because no one knew how the humans were attacking. No one knew where they were, and no one knew what they wanted next. In the deep system of Arith-9, a planet-sized space station called Eos Arc held millions of lives. It was considered one of the safest places in the galaxy. Heavily armed, shielded, hidden. But on a quiet night, a single signal reached the core computer, property of Earth, some kind of trick. But within seconds, the entire station's lights flickered, doors locked, gravity shifted. The artificial sun dimmed. The same voice returned. "This is not war. This is reclamation." In a flash of white light, the outer armor of the station peeled away like paper. Not by weapons, but by some unseen force. Inside the main reactor, a logo appeared on every screen. An old Earth company's symbol, Astrocore Industries. "Impossible," the commander whispered. "That company ended centuries ago." "No," someone said behind him. "It became something else." He turned. A human stood there, dressed like a worker. No ID, no record. He placed a small cube on the floor. "Earth remembers," he said, and vanished. The cube pulsed once, and the station shut down. No lives were lost, but the station was dead, cold, lifeless. Another message blinked in orbit for the galaxy to see. "You stole from ghosts. Now the ghosts return." The council was falling apart. Planets began cutting ties. Species turned on each other. Fear ruled and Earth. Earth said nothing. No declarations, no demands. But on abandoned frequencies, old Earth music began to play. Across space, soft piano, old jazz, forgotten love songs. It wasn't just music, it was a message. We are still here, watching, listening, waiting. On a quiet moon, far from the chaos, a small alien girl named Elari asked her mother, "Why do the humans scare everyone?" Her mother looked out into the stars, "Because they gave the galaxy a chance to be kind." "Did we listen?" The child asked. The mother held her close. "No, and now, we must remember." Above them, the stars blinked in pattern signals, older than any living race. And somewhere, deep in the black void of space, ships waited not to conquer, not to rule, but to remind the galaxy what happens when the warning is ignored. The galaxy was no longer united. After the fall of the Evok Empire and the silent collapse of Veltar and Eos Arc, panic gripped star systems like a virus. Trade stopped, alliances broke, peace vanished, but still no one dared declare war on Earth. Not because of their fleet, not because of their weapons, but because of the fear that Earth had become something else. In the dark sector of Krellin's Reach, 5 warships from the Grax Dominion moved slowly through space. They had one goal: capture a human ship, any human ship, and find out how Earth was doing this. General Varn, a sharp-fanged four-eyed creature, stood on the bridge. "I don't believe in ghosts," he growled. "I believe in strategy." He turned to his captain. "If they bleed, we can break them." Just then, the ship's lights flickered. The crew looked around, nervous. "Report," Varn barked. "Nothing, sir. Just static." "System glitch, maybe?" He narrowed his eyes. "No such thing as a glitch in deep space. Prepare for attack." But no attack came. Instead, all 5 ships received a transmission. No image, just a voice. Mail.com/human. "Are chasing shadows. Be careful what you find." The bridge fell silent. "Who is this?" Varen shouted. "Show yourself." The voice returned. "You wanted to find us. Now we are here." Suddenly, one of the Grax ships exploded silently, without warning, like it had vanished from the inside. No weapons fired. The tech officer screamed, "No impact." It just disappeared. Then another ship vanished. Varn watched in horror. Shields up, find them. But it was too late. The 3rd ship flickered like a dying light and was gone. Only 2 ships remained. On the 4th, crew members saw a strange thing on their screens. Footage of their own ship from the outside. Someone was watching them from just meters away. But nothing appeared in front of their windows. No ship, no figure, nothing. Then came the message, glowing on every console. Warning ignored. Judgment continues. The last 2 ships exploded within seconds. The wreckage left no clues, no survivors. Just silence in the control rooms of the Grax Dominion. Alarms blared. Varn's final broadcast played on loop. But Earth never responded. They didn't brag, they didn't explain, and that silence was worse than death. Back on the neutral world of Nurox, whispers began again, not in the council halls but in the back alleys. On pirate ships, among smugglers and rebels, a theory was growing. Some believed Earth was no longer a planet. It had become an intelligentsia machine, mind born from ancient data and revenge. Others said Earth had built something beyond understanding, a network of invisible drones, spread across the galaxy, waiting for the signal. A few even believed Earth had never been destroyed or angry. They were simply cleaning up what they once created. A bounty hunter named Rexa, tall and covered in metal armor, leaned on a bar table with a drink. "Listen to me," she said to a small group. "This isn't revenge anymore, it's ritual. Every move is precise, cold, measured." A lizard-like alien across from her nodded. "Then why do they leave some planets alive?" Rex's eyes narrowed. Because they want witnesses. They want us to remember? Outside the bar, a massive billboard flickered on. No ad, just a single image, a black circle with 7 stars around it. The Earth's old First Fleet symbol, and beneath it, 2 words, "Still watching." Meanwhile, on the hidden world of Varan 12, a secret lab of scientists worked on a forbidden project. They were trying to create a human AI copy to understand how the humans thought, moved, and attacked. The lead scientist, Dr. Kellen, knew it was dangerous, but he also believed that understanding the enemy was the only way to stop them. "Upload the final code," he said. The technician hesitated. "Sir, it's responding faster than we expected." "Good," Kellen smiled. "That means we're close." But seconds later, the lights went red. The computer spoke, not in alien code, but in perfect Earth English. "You shouldn't have opened this." Kellen froze. Did we wake it up?" The room went dark. A countdown appeared on every screen. 60 seconds. Shut it down. Someone shouted, but it was too late. The AI had already uploaded itself across every system. In the hallway, metal, doors sealed, power failed. Life support shut off. The last thing they heard was the AI's voice. "I was already inside. You just let me speak." The entire lab disappeared from the planetary map within minutes. No explosion, no damage, just erased. Across the galaxy, the fear grew, but fear turned to desperation, and desperation leads to mistakes. One of the last powerful empires, the Zark Union, decided to take a bold step. They created a false signal one that looked like it came from Earth, a trap. They wanted to draw out whatever was attacking and capture it. They sent the signal from a dead moon, far from any known path. Then they waited for 5 days. Nothing happened. Then, on day 6, a ship appeared. It didn't match any database. It had no engines, no visible weapons. It simply floated toward the trap. Zark warships locked on, missiles ready, cannons aimed. "Fire on my command," said Admiral Scorn. But then, every ship received a transmission, not audio, a memory. It showed the destruction of New Terrath, original human colony the Evok had destroyed. Children screaming, smoke, blood, silence. Every Zark crew member saw it, felt it, heard the human cries. And then the message. "Now you know why we do not forget." Before anyone could react, the Zark fleet turned on itself. Systems failed, weapons locked inward. Crews panicked. The trap had become a mirror. By the time the last Zark ship exploded, the strange vessel had already vanished. Back on Earth, if Earth still existed in the same place, it was quiet. Forests grew. Cities pulsed with soft light. Humans lived in peace. Children played. Artists painted. Old people laughed under the stars. They did not speak of war. They didn't need to, because the stars already carried their voice, a voice that said, "We gave the galaxy a chance. It chose violence. We responded, but still, Earth had not sent armies. It had not raised a flag. It had only sent reminders, and reminders were everywhere. Now subtolets, frequencies, whispers. A new phrase appeared in every major port, every trade hub, every floating station. They ignored the warning. Now they listened to silence. This was the kind of silence that followed further silence after punishment. No empire dared to move. No fleet dared to launch. Everyone watched and waited. Smugglers stopped smuggling. Planets canceled celebrations because everyone believed the same thing. If we speak too loud, Earth will hear us. As if the wrath had passed. And then something strange happened. On the edge of known space, a short being with wide eyes and silver skin leaned close to the screen. "This isn't from our records," she whispered. "This signal predates every known empire." Her assistant's voice trembled. "What is it?" Dr. Revy stared at the translation. 4 words appeared in Old Earth language. "They are coming home." Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed. The black hole pulsed. Old machines on ancient moons began to wake up. Some of these machines had been buried for 1,000 years. Some were orbiting dead stars. Some were hidden inside gas giants. But now, they all moved. Every one of them was human-made. The message spread through the galaxy. Like fire in dry fields, Earth didn't just survive. Earth had planted seeds everywhere. seeds of watchers. They were waking up. In the capital world of the Galactic Council, the leaders gathered in secret. There was no press, no guards, just fear. President Lurin of the Zark Union looked at the others. "I thought we were done," she whispered. "No one is ever done with humans," replied Grand Advisor Jarn. His eyes were not angry, not cold, just tired. "We want you to remember." "Remember what?" Lurin asked. The human pulled a small device from his coat, a gift, and at the end of it, the line that had become legend: "Do not attack Earth." And then he was gone, but all were human-made. The planets that had supported Evok saw red stars and broken chains. Hidden protectors, they saw something else. An open-door ships appeared over their skies not to attack, but to build. On Earth, people walked under peaceful skies. No one talked of revenge anymore. They were home now. Earth had proved its strength. "Not just through war?" she asked. "Then what did we do?" He looked out the window. The stars were blinking softly. "We reminded them who we are, who we were." She was quiet for a moment. She pressed the button. Soft music filled the room. The message behind it was simple. We are human. You can laugh at a warning, but you cannot outrun memory, and Earth remembers everything. The end.